life will test you. It will push you, pull you, and sometimes knock you down. The world does not owe you comfort, and it does not pause when you are struggling. The first step to building a mindset that survives anything is to accept this truth. Accept that pain, failure, and disappointment are part of life. When you accept it, you stop fighting what you cannot change, and you start focusing on what you can control, your own thoughts, actions, and choices. Life is unpredictable. It throws obstacles, setbacks, and surprises at us constantly, often without warning. The first step to building a mindset that survives anything is to accept that life will always be full of challenges and uncontrollable events. Our acceptance does not mean giving up or resigning yourself to passivity. It means acknowledging reality exactly as it is, without adding extra suffering by resisting it. Many people waste energy fighting things they cannot change, wishing life were easier, or blaming others for their misfortune. This resistance creates frustration, anxiety, and a sense of helplessness. By accepting that difficulties are a natural part of life, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering and prepare your mind to handle whatever comes your way. Acceptance begins with awareness. Observe the patterns in your life and in the world around you. Understand that change is constant, that relationships will face strain, that plans may fail, and that loss is inevitable. These truths are not pessimistic, they are realistic. When you recognize that life includes both joy and suffering, you stop being surprised or paralyzed by challenges. Instead, you can approach them with calm and clarity. Acceptance allows you to see situations objectively. You can assess what has happened without judgment or emotional distortion, which makes it easier to respond effectively rather than react impulsively. An accepted mindset also helps reduce fear. Our fear often comes from the unknown, from the illusion that life should follow our expectations. When you accept that life is unpredictable, our fear loses its power. You understand that setbacks are normal, that discomfort is temporary, and that you have the ability to face adversity. This mindset creates confidence and courage because you are no longer trying to control what is uncontrollable. Instead, you focus on what you can influence, your choices, your effort, and your perspective. Acceptance does not mean passivity. It means prioritizing energy and attention on the areas where action is meaningful and effective. Acceptance also strengthens resilience. When you accept challenges as part of life, you stop wasting energy on denial, blame, or regret. Instead, you can adapt and find solutions. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to practice patience, perseverance, and resourcefulness. You learn to bend without breaking, to recover more quickly from setbacks, and to maintain a sense of inner stability, even when the world around you feels chaotic. This resilience is not dependent on external circumstances. It comes from your mindset, from your ability to face reality without being overwhelmed by it. Another important aspect of acceptance is understanding impermanence. Everything in life changes: people, circumstances, emotions, and even your own thoughts. Clinging to how things should be creates disappointment. By accepting impermanence, you cultivate flexibility and adaptability. You understand that hardships will pass, that difficulties are not permanent, and that even the most challenging moments serve a purpose in your growth. This awareness allows you to navigate life with less stress and more clarity. Acceptance also fosters emotional stability. When you stop resisting life's difficulties, you reduce the intensity of negative emotions. You do not react with panic, anger, or frustration at every unexpected event. Instead, you approach life with calm, steady attention. You observe your emotions, understand their source, and choose responses that align with your long-term goals rather than short-term impulses. This stability is essential for building a mindset that can endure anything, because it prevents small setbacks from snowballing into overwhelming crises. Finally, acceptance allows you to focus on learning and growth. Every challenge, every mistake, and every difficult moment becomes a lesson when you stop fighting reality. You can extract wisdom from experiences rather than wasting energy on resentment or regret. Life becomes a teacher rather than an enemy. By embracing this perspective, you build mental strength, emotional resilience, and the confidence to face any situation with composure and clarity. A mindset that survives anything depends on understanding the difference between what you can control and what you cannot. Too often, people waste their energy trying to manage events, other people's actions, or outcomes that are beyond their influence. This leads to frustration, disappointment, and a sense of helplessness. The second key principle of building an unshakable mindset is to focus only on what you can control: your own thoughts, your own actions, and your own choices. By directing your attention to what is within your power, you gain clarity, reduce unnecessary stress, and create real progress in your life. The first step in focusing on what you can control is to become aware of your reactions. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. This is where true power lies. When an unexpected challenge arises, pause and ask yourself, what is within my control here? Often, the answer is not the situation itself, but your attitude toward it. You can choose patience over frustration, action over inaction, calm over panic, by training yourself to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. You maintain a sense of stability and strength regardless of external circumstances. Next, take responsibility for your choices. Many people blame external factors, other people, luck, or circumstances, for their failures and unhappiness. This is a form of giving away your power. Focusing on what you can control requires owning your decisions and your actions. You may not be able to control the world, but you can control how you show up in it. You can control your effort, your consistency, and your integrity. By taking responsibility, you stop being a victim of circumstance and start being the author of your own life. Focusing on your thoughts is equally important. Your mind is the lens through which you interpret reality. Negative, uncontrolled thoughts amplify stress and create obstacles that do not exist in reality. By directing your attention to constructive thinking, you strengthen your ability to navigate challenges effectively. This does not mean ignoring reality or pretending problems do not exist. It means choosing to dwell on what is actionable, practical, and beneficial, instead of ruminating on what you cannot change. Clarity of thought is essential to surviving difficult times because it allows you to make decisions with reason rather than emotion. Another aspect of focusing on what you can control is controlling your effort, not the outcome. Life is unpredictable, and results often depend on factors beyond your influence. Obsessing over outcomes leads to stress and disappointment. Instead, concentrate on giving your best effort in every action. When you commit fully to what you can do, you are satisfied with your own performance, regardless of external results. This mindset creates resilience because it removes dependence on luck, approval, or external validation. Focus also requires setting boundaries. You cannot control the choices of others, the flow of events, or every challenge that comes your way. Accepting this allows you to conserve energy for what matters. Do not waste mental power on situations where your influence is minimal. Instead, devote attention to your work, your habits, your mindset, and your growth. This disciplined focus builds a strong foundation that no external circumstance can easily shake. Finally, practicing focus on what you can control develops confidence. When you consistently act within your sphere of influence, you see progress, learn from your experiences, and grow stronger. You no longer feel at the mercy of chance or the actions of others. You understand that while the world is unpredictable, your mind, your choices, and your effort remain your own. This understanding creates calm, clarity, and a sense of security that allows you to face any situation with composure. A mindset that survives anything is built through consistent self-discipline. Our discipline is the bridge between your goals and your results, and it is what allows you to act effectively even when life is difficult or uncomfortable. Without discipline, even the strongest intentions are powerless. Life will always present distractions, temptations, and reasons to give up. The third key principle of building a resilient mindset is to train yourself to stay consistent, to face discomfort willingly, and to take responsibility for your actions every single day. Small acts of self-discipline accumulate over time, creating mental strength that cannot be taken away by external circumstances. Self-discipline begins with daily habits. The mind that survives challenges is not built in moments of inspiration, but through repeated action. Waking up on time, completing tasks without procrastination, controlling impulses, and maintaining focus are all examples of small acts that strengthen your mental muscles. Each time you act in alignment with your values and goals, you reinforce the belief that you are capable, reliable, and in control. These small victories, repeated consistently, create a foundation of resilience that prepares you for bigger challenges. Facing discomfort is another essential element of self-discipline. Life does not stay comfortable for long, and the ability to tolerate difficulty is what separates those who endure from those who crumble. Avoiding pain or seeking constant comfort weakens the mind. Training yourself to endure hardships, whether physical, emotional, or mental, strengthens your capacity to handle whatever life throws at you. This can be as simple as sticking to a demanding routine, saying no to short-term pleasures that distract you from long-term goals, or embracing tasks you naturally resist. Each act of discipline, in the face of discomfort, builds confidence and resilience. Self-discipline also requires controlling your impulses. The mind that survives anything does not act on every emotion or desire. It pauses, reflects, and chooses the action that aligns with long-term priorities, rather than immediate gratification. Impulse control is critical because unchecked reactions often lead to regret, mistakes, and wasted energy. By practicing restraint and mindful decision-making, you strengthen your ability to act intentionally in all areas of life. This control over your internal world creates stability and prevents external chaos from derailing your progress. Consistency is a key aspect of self-discipline. It is not enough to act correctly once or occasionally. Strength is built through repetition. Doing the right thing, even when you do not feel like it, reinforces your character and trains your mind to endure. This consistency extends to thoughts as well as actions. Training yourself to maintain focus, positivity, and rational thinking even during challenging circumstances, prevents stress and fear from controlling your decisions. Over time, your disciplined habits become automatic, forming a mental armor that protects you from the storms of life. Another component of self-discipline is delayed gratification. Life often tempts us with quick rewards, but long-term growth requires patience and strategic effort. A resilient mindset understands that sacrifice in the short term creates strength and opportunity in the long term. By consistently choosing what benefits you most in the future over immediate pleasure, you build momentum, confidence, and control. This practice not only strengthens your mind, but also builds trust in your own abilities and judgment. Self-discipline also involves responsibility for your actions. The mind that survives anything does not blame others or circumstances for setbacks. It examines failures honestly, learns from mistakes, and adapts. Taking full responsibility cultivates self-respect and reliability, two pillars of mental strength. By owning your decisions and consistently following through, you create a stable foundation that no external event can shake. Finally, discipline cultivates freedom. Paradoxically, the more you train yourself to control your thoughts, actions, and reactions, the freer you become. You are no longer enslaved by impulses, emotions, or external pressures. You act with purpose, clarity, and resilience, ready to face challenges without fear, distraction, or regret. A mindset that survives anything requires the ability to pause and respond calmly, rather than reacting impulsively. Life is unpredictable, and events will constantly test your patience, judgment, and composure. Without control over your reactions, even small challenges can feel overwhelming. The fourth key principle of building an unshakable mindset is to develop the habit of responding thoughtfully, staying calm under pressure, and observing situations objectively before acting. This practice allows you to maintain clarity, make better decisions, and preserve your mental strength regardless of circumstances. Reacting impulsively often comes from a place of emotion rather than reason. Anger, fear, frustration, and anxiety are natural responses, but they can cloud judgment and lead to poor decisions. A mind that survives anything does not suppress these emotions, but it does not let them dictate behavior either. Instead, it acknowledges them, understands their source, and chooses a deliberate response. By creating a pause between stimulus and reaction, you gain control over your actions, and this control becomes the foundation of resilience. The ability to pause begins with awareness. Notice the moment when emotions rise, when your body tenses, or when your mind races with judgment or worry. These signals indicate that a reaction is forming. Recognize them without acting immediately. Taking even a few deep breaths, stepping back from the situation, or giving yourself a brief mental pause, allows you to respond with intention rather than react out of habit. Over time, this pause becomes automatic, strengthening your capacity to face any challenge with calm and clarity. Responding thoughtfully also involves assessing the situation objectively. Separate facts from assumptions and avoid adding unnecessary interpretation or judgment. Most of the stress we experience comes not from events themselves, but from the meaning we attach to them. By seeing events clearly, without exaggeration or distortion, you reduce emotional turbulence and make decisions based on reality rather than fear or bias. This objective perspective helps you identify what is truly within your control and what is not, allowing you to focus your energy on effective action. Calm responses are strengthened by perspective. When faced with difficulty, Remind yourself that setbacks are temporary and often smaller than they initially appear. Consider how a situation will look in a week, a month, or a year. This shift in perspective prevents overreaction and reduces the intensity of emotional responses. By training your mind to see challenges as part of the natural flow of life, rather than personal attacks or catastrophes, you develop steadiness and mental resilience. Another aspect of responding calmly is practicing detachment from outcomes. While it is natural to desire certain results, a mind that survives anything understands that the outcome is often influenced by factors beyond control. Acting with effort and integrity, while letting go of attachment to results, creates a sense of inner peace. You do your best in every situation without being shaken by uncertainty or disappointment. This detachment strengthens confidence and reduces the vulnerability that comes from relying on external validation or luck. Consistency in calm responses builds character. Each time you pause, reflect, and respond intentionally, you reinforce a habit of composure. Over time, these habits become automatic, and your reactions are measured, purposeful, and effective. This consistency not only protects your mind from unnecessary stress, but also earns the respect of others, as composure and clarity are evident in every interaction. Finally, practicing calm responses enhances problem solving. When emotions are controlled, the mind is free to think clearly, consider options, and take effective action. Our challenges become manageable rather than overwhelming. By cultivating this ability to pause and respond with thoughtfulness and calm, you build a mindset that can survive anything, navigate life with confidence, and remain unshaken in the face of adversity. A mindset that survives anything is strengthened by the ability to see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. A life will inevitably bring difficulties, setbacks, and moments that test your patience, strength, and perseverance. Of the fifth key principle of building a resilient mindset is perspective, learning to view every challenge not as a threat, but as a chance to grow, improve, and practice the qualities that make you stronger. By shifting the way you interpret hardships, you turn adversity into training for your mind, body, and spirit. The first step in developing this perspective is to recognize that discomfort and struggle are natural parts of life. Nothing that truly matters comes without effort, and every experience that tests you is an opportunity to learn something valuable. When you face a setback, ask yourself, what can I gain from this? What lesson is hidden here? By approaching challenges with curiosity, rather than fear or resentment, you transform obstacles into stepping stones. This shift in mindset allows you to remain calm and proactive instead of reactive or defeated. Our perspective also involves detaching from immediate emotions. Pain, frustration, and disappointment can feel overwhelming in the moment, but they are temporary. By imagining yourself observing the situation from a distance, or considering how it will appear in the future, you reduce the intensity of negative feelings. This mental distance gives clarity, allowing you to make decisions based on reason rather than impulse. A mind trained in perspective sees the bigger picture, understanding that one difficult moment does not define your life or your worth. Another aspect of perspective is recognizing the role of growth in adversity. Challenges reveal your strengths and weaknesses. They show you where you need to improve and give you a chance to develop qualities like patience, perseverance, courage, and focus. Every obstacle is a test of character, and every test you pass strengthens your ability to face the next challenge. By framing difficulties as opportunities for growth, you stop resisting them and start using them intentionally to train yourself. Perspective also teaches gratitude. Even in hardship, there are elements of life you can appreciate, lessons learned, the opportunity to practice strength, or the chance to refine your thinking. Gratitude shifts focus from what is missing to what is available, from what is unfair to what is meaningful. A mindset that embraces challenges with gratitude becomes resilient, because it draws energy from what is possible rather than being drained by what is lost. This mindset also reduces fear. Many people are paralyzed by the idea of failure or difficulty because they see challenges as threats. When you adopt perspective, you see that setbacks are temporary and often smaller than they appear. Failure is not the end, it is information, feedback, and a chance to adjust. Fear loses its power because you no longer interpret challenges as insurmountable. Instead, you see them as necessary steps on the path to growth and mastery. Perspective also requires patience. Growth through challenges is rarely immediate. Results come gradually, and progress is often invisible day by day. A resilient mindset understands this and maintains effort and focus even when results are not yet apparent. By practicing patience, you avoid frustration and maintain clarity, steadily building the mental and emotional strength needed to endure life's tests. Finally, our perspective enhances problem-solving and creativity. When you see challenges as opportunities rather than threats, your mind searches for solutions rather than dwelling on obstacles. Each problem becomes a puzzle, each difficulty a chance to exercise ingenuity, resilience, and wisdom. This shift in interpretation strengthens confidence and mental toughness, allowing you to face life proactively, learn from adversity, and continue growing stronger with each challenge. A mindset that survives anything is deeply rooted in resilience, the ability to recover quickly from difficulties and remain steady in the face of adversity. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks, failures, and losses are inevitable. The sixth key principle of building an unshakable mindset is to cultivate resilience by anchoring yourself in your character, values, and integrity. When you develop this inner strength, external events lose the power to break you, and you can navigate challenges with confidence, patience, and clarity. Resilience begins with understanding that life will not always go as planned. Unexpected events, difficult people, and unforeseen obstacles are part of existence. Resilient individuals do not waste energy wishing life were different. Instead, they accept reality and focus on adapting to it. This does not mean passivity, it means acknowledging what has happened, understanding what can be controlled, and taking deliberate action to respond effectively. By embracing reality rather than resisting it, you conserve energy, reduce stress, and position yourself to overcome challenges efficiently. A resilient mindset is anchored in self-awareness. Understanding your strengths, weaknesses, and limits allows you to respond to challenges thoughtfully rather than reactively. Self-awareness helps you recognize when emotions like fear, anger, or frustration are rising and teaches you to manage them effectively. Instead of being swept away by circumstances, you can pause, reflect, and choose actions that align with your long-term goals and values. This control over your internal state is the core of resilience, because it makes you less dependent on external conditions for stability and peace. Another critical aspect of resilience is adaptability. Life does not unfold according to our expectations, and rigid thinking leads to suffering. By cultivating flexibility in your mindset, you can adjust strategies, change perspectives, and respond creatively to challenges. Adaptability allows you to find solutions where others see only obstacles. It also teaches patience, as resilient individuals understand that setbacks are often temporary and that perseverance can turn difficulties into opportunities. Resilience also involves emotional regulation. Life will trigger a range of emotions, some intense and uncomfortable. The mind that survives anything does not deny or suppress emotions, but it does not let them control actions. Instead, it observes emotions, understands their source, and chooses deliberate responses. This practice reduces impulsive decisions, prevents unnecessary conflict, and preserves mental energy. By maintaining emotional balance, you can navigate challenges calmly, think clearly, and act effectively even under pressure. The development of resilience is also closely linked to maintaining perspective. Challenges, failures, and losses are part of the human experience, but they do not define you. By keeping a broad perspective, you recognize that difficulties are temporary and often smaller in context than they appear. This understanding reduces fear and frustration and fosters patience and determination. Every challenge becomes a chance to strengthen your mental, emotional, and moral faculties. Our resilience is strengthened through action and responsibility. When setbacks occur, resilient individuals do not blame others or circumstances. They assess the situation honestly, take responsibility for what can be controlled, and move forward with purpose. This approach builds confidence and self-reliance, reinforcing the belief that no matter what happens externally, your internal strength remains intact. Finally, resilience creates freedom. By anchoring yourself in your character, values, and internal stability, you are no longer a prisoner of external events. Challenges, failures, and losses may test you, but they cannot destroy the foundation of your mind. With resilience, you face life proactively, recover quickly from setbacks, and continue growing stronger with every obstacle. Knowing that true strength comes from within a mindset that survives anything thrives on clarity and focus. Life constantly bombards us with distractions, noise, and competing demands. And the ability to direct attention toward what truly matters is essential for mental strength. The seventh key principle of building an unshakable mindset is to cultivate clarity in thought and focus in action. By identifying your priorities, eliminating unnecessary distractions, and committing fully to your goals, you develop the mental resilience needed to navigate challenges, maintain control, and achieve meaningful progress. Clarity begins with understanding your purpose. A mind that survives anything knows what it stands for, what it values, and what it seeks to accomplish. When you have a clear sense of direction, decisions become simpler. And energy is spent on actions that move you forward rather than being scattered across trivial concerns. Purpose provides a mental anchor in chaotic times, allowing you to remain steady and deliberate when faced with uncertainty or difficulty. By defining what truly matters, you can filter out distractions, resist temptations, and act with intention. Focus is strengthened through discipline. Life constantly presents opportunities for diversion, temptations, interruptions, and the pull of immediate gratification. The resilient mind recognizes these as threats to mental strength and acts to minimize them. This requires conscious effort, prioritizing tasks, setting boundaries, and committing to sustained attention on the actions that matter most. Each time you resist distraction and stay focused, You reinforce the habit of control over your mind, which in turn strengthens your capacity to endure challenges. Another aspect of clarity is self-reflection. Regularly examining your thoughts, actions, and decisions helps you identify patterns that either support or weaken your mental strength. A focused mind takes note of wasted energy, negative thinking, and unproductive habits, then makes intentional changes. By understanding your tendencies and adjusting behavior accordingly, you maintain control over your internal state and avoid being carried away by external circumstances. This practice cultivates both self-awareness and strategic thinking, which are essential for surviving and thriving in difficult situations. Eliminating unnecessary concerns is also crucial for clarity. Much of the mental stress people experience comes from worrying about things beyond their control. By distinguishing between what you can influence and what you cannot, you free your mind from pointless anxiety and focus on effective action. This principle reinforces calmness and resilience, as energy is directed toward what produces tangible results rather than being scattered on impossibilities or imagined threats. Focus also enhances problem solving. When the mind is clear and free of distraction, it can analyze situations rationally, identify solutions, and act decisively. Our challenges that once felt overwhelming become manageable, because your attention is directed toward actionable steps, rather than being diffused across multiple worries. A clear and focused mind sees opportunities where others see only obstacles, and it approaches difficulties with confidence, patience, and persistence. Clarity and focus are strengthened by routines and habits. Consistent daily practices that support your goals, values, and mental health reduce decision fatigue and create structure. When your mind is guided by habits aligned with your purpose, it can operate efficiently even under pressure. Discipline, attention, and routine work together to reinforce clarity, ensuring that distractions and chaos have minimal impact on your ability to think and act effectively. Finally, a focused mind cultivates freedom. By knowing your priorities and acting deliberately, you are no longer a slave to external chaos, emotions, or impulsive reactions. Clarity allows you to see the path forward, focus on what matters, and act with intention. This mental precision builds resilience because it anchors you in your purpose, protects your energy, and strengthens your ability to endure, adapt, and thrive under any circumstance. A mindset that survives anything is strengthened by the practice of gratitude and maintaining mental clarity. Our life is unpredictable, filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty. But the mind that can endure anything knows how to focus on what is meaningful, rather than being consumed by what is lacking. The eighth key principle of building an unshakable mindset is to develop a habit of appreciating what you have, focusing on what is within your control, and letting go of distractions and unnecessary worries. This practice creates stability, peace, and resilience, allowing you to navigate life's difficulties with strength and purpose. Gratitude begins with awareness. Many people go through life taking things for granted, focusing on what they do not have rather than what is present. A resilient mind notices the positive aspects of life, even in small things: a supportive friend, a moment of quiet, a lesson learned from hardship. Recognizing these elements builds a sense of abundance and reduces the emotional weight of challenges. When you focus on what is available rather than what is missing, you cultivate contentment and reduce the impact of external difficulties on your inner state. Gratitude also shifts perspective. Our challenges can feel overwhelming when viewed only as problems or obstacles. By pairing awareness with appreciation, you start to see difficulties as opportunities, lessons, or moments of growth. Even setbacks provide information, reveal your strengths, and highlight areas for improvement. A mind trained in gratitude reframes hardship, seeing each experience as part of the journey rather than a punishment. This perspective reduces fear, frustration, and despair, creating emotional resilience that allows you to endure difficulties with composure. Clarity is equally important. A mind that survives anything knows what matters and what does not. Life constantly presents distractions, irrelevant concerns, and external pressures. Without clarity, these distractions drain energy and scatter focus. By clearly identifying your priorities, your goals, our values, and areas of influence, you free your mind from unnecessary mental clutter. This focus allows you to direct your energy toward meaningful actions and decisions, rather than being consumed by trivial or uncontrollable matters. Practicing gratitude and clarity together reinforces self-control. When you appreciate what you have and focus on what is important, you are less likely to react impulsively, complain, or seek short-term comfort at the expense of long-term growth. Our emotional stability grows as a result, because you are no longer tossed around by minor setbacks or external chaos. The mind becomes grounded, steady, and capable of facing challenges without being overwhelmed. Gratitude also strengthens resilience through perspective on impermanence. Life is constantly changing, and even the most difficult moments will pass. By appreciating what is present, you reduce the urge to cling to comfort or certainty, which creates flexibility and adaptability. Our understanding that challenges are temporary allows you to endure them more effectively, maintaining focus on constructive action rather than being consumed by fear or frustration. Clarity of thought enables better decision-making. When the mind is clear and focused, it can assess situations objectively, prioritize actions, and act with purpose. This reduces wasted energy, prevents confusion, and enhances effectiveness in solving problems. Gratitude supports this clarity by preventing emotional overload, keeping the mind balanced and capable of rational thinking, even under pressure. Finally, a mindset grounded in gratitude and clarity cultivates freedom and peace. By appreciating what you have and focusing only on what matters, you are no longer enslaved by worry, envy, or external circumstances. Your mental energy is preserved for growth, learning, and deliberate action. This combination of gratitude and clarity builds an inner strength that allows you to face life's storms with calm, endurance, and unwavering determination, creating a mind capable